What's going on, off the record fans? If you're watching this video for the first time, we do music news every day at 5. Try to. Sometimes we just release a clip. We've released 5 episodes of our show of me interviewing different people that are involved in the music scene. You can check those out here on our YouTube channel. Let's get into it today. We got some news going on out there in the ether of the world. So, if you recognize that guy, third in, going from left to right, yeah, it's Chris Cornell. So we're going to talk about Kim, the guitarist, and Vicky Cornell speaking out on Soundgarden's upcoming Rock Hall induction. So, big news in the world of rock this week. Soundgarden is finally getting their dues. The legendary Seattle band is set to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. And the moment is hitting deep for both the surviving band members and for the family of the late frontman, Chris Cornell. Guitarist Kim, one of the key architects behind Soundgarden's signature sound, recently broke his silence about the honor. Speaking with humility and a touch of emotion, Kim said, quote, "It's a profound recognition of what we created together. This isn't just about Soundgarden. It's about Chris. It's about our bond. It's about the fans who stood with us through all of it." Great words, unquote. So, the induction has been a long time coming. Soundgarden helped define the grunge movement in the early 90s, alongside peers like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, which is another band of brothers for Chris Cornell, and Alice in Chains. All of those are classic 90s bands. And while the Rock Hall has sometimes been slow to acknowledge hard rock and alternative acts, this year they finally got it right. So perhaps even more streamlined was this statement released by Vicky Cornell, Chris's widow. She said, "This is an honor that," quote, "this is an honor that Chris would be proud of. He gave everything to his music and his band. He believed in Soundgarden until the very end, and I know he would be incredibly humbled by this recognition," unquote. She went on to thank the fans who kept Chris's memory and music alive, adding, quote, "This moment belongs to every Soundgarden fan who never stopped believing in the power of this band," unquote. There have been some well-documented tensions between Cornell's estate and the remaining members of Soundgarden in recent years, mostly around unreleased music and rights, really. But the Rock Hall moment seems to be a rare point of unity for the band, where the legacy of the band and the life of Chris Cornell are being celebrated on the biggest stage rock has to offer. The Rock and Roll Hall induction ceremony is set to take place this fall, and fans around the world are already speculating about whether the surviving members, Kim, Ben, and Matt, will perform. If we might see maybe a special tribute to Chris, that'd be cool. So whether or not they are hitting the stage, this is a powerful moment of recognition for the band that changed the shape of rock music. Soundgarden wasn't just part of the scene, they were a thunderstorm rolling in above it. So congrats, Kim, Ben, Matt, Chris, and everyone who helped build Soundgarden's legacy. This is one for the history books and for the fans who never stopped turning up the volume. Man, Soundgarden, classic 90s band. Comment down below who your favorite 90s band is, who you think the best grunge band was. I want to know what you guys think. So we've got another little piece of news about System of a Down toxicity getting pulled from streaming platforms. So fans of metal and alternative rock woke up to some jarring news this week. System of a Down since 2001, their album Toxicity, it has disappeared from major streaming platforms without a warning. The album, widely considered defining and a masterpiece, is now nowhere to be found on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or even YouTube Music. Tracks like Chop Suey, Aerials, and title track Toxicity, songs that helped define an era, have just vanished into digital thin air. And as of this broadcast, neither the band nor the label has issued a formal explanation. Kind of makes me think they're working on something. Maybe they're releasing a remastered version that they own the rights to. Who knows? I feel like usually this is stuff that if it was a mishap, it was accidentally taken down, I feel like they would have commented. They would have said something. Social media lit up quickly with confusion and frustration from fans. Longtime fans expressed disbelief that one of the most influential rock albums of the 21st century could just poof, be gone. Some speculated that this could be a licensing issue between the band and Sony Music. It could be. Others were wondering if it's a stunt tied to a reissue of an upcoming announcement. But again, no word from the band. Just silence from a very loud band. For those of you who weren't around when Toxicity dropped in 2001, I was in college, freshman year. Let me break this down. This album shook the world. Released just 1 week before September 11th's attacks, the record captured a deep political rage and emotional chaos that would define much of the early 2000s rock scene. So it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, sold millions of copies, and turned System of a Down from underground heroes into mainstream revolutionaries. The cultural weight of Chop Suey alone, still the go-to meme and karaoke favorite. It's just monumental, that song. To also having it pulled with no warning. It's just kind of strange. It feels like a massive hole in rock history. Some fans are taking matters into their own hands, dusting off old CDs, revisiting MP3 libraries, or hitting vinyl for the nostalgic trip. Let me ask you this question. Comment below. Do you still have CDs? Do you still use CDs? I honestly got rid of all mine. I use iTunes. I'm a little bit of a minimalist when it comes to having things. But others are demanding answers. Because when a record like Toxicity disappears, it doesn't just affect a playlist. It erases a piece of musical memory. We all know. That's one of the things we love about music is it can transform the time you're in to the time you first heard that song, to that moment, the way it made you feel. It's almost magical. So we'll keep our ears to the ground on the updates, but for now, we're left with a loud silence and a reminder that even the most enduring albums aren't guaranteed a permanent home in the digital world. It's funny how our society is. As soon as something disappears, you hear about it online. You don't see it in the news. I don't see it in the news. I don't watch the news, at least the American news. So I start seeing all my friends freaking out online, and I start doing some research. Or you see a meme about something, you're like, what the hell are they talking about? So let's get into another little disruption in the music world. So Big Loud sells a catalog stake for $200 million, signaling major shifts in the country music landscape. So Big Loud, the powerhouse independent music company behind country superstar Morgan Wallen, they've sold a significant stake in its musical catalog for approximately $200 million, according to industry sources. So the deal marks one of the largest catalog transactions in the country music sector to this date. The transaction includes a big portion of Big Loud's publishing and mastering recording rights, encompassing works from its roster of artists such as Morgan Wallen, Hardy, and the Florida Georgia Line. This move reflects the growing interest from investment firms in acquiring music assets with enduring value. So, Big Loud was founded in 2011 by Craig Wiseman, Joey Moy, and Kevin Chief Zarek, and Seth England. It's rapidly ascended to a prominence in country music so far. The company encompasses a record label, publishing arm, and management division, boasting over 100 RIAA certified titles and 47 billion global streams. It's a lot of streams. Morgan Wallen's success has been significant driver to Big Loud. His 2021 release, Dangerous, the double album, spent 97 weeks at number 1 on Billboard's top country albums chart. Man, that is massive. It was named Billboard's top album of the 21st century. That's a lot. 97 weeks. Whew. So his follow-up, One Thing at a Time, continued this momentum, spending 19 weeks atop of the Billboard 200. 19 weeks is impressive, but I mean, wow. He basically did 5 times that with the album before. That's impressive. So the sale aligns with Big Loud's strategy to leverage its assets for future growth while maintaining its independent spirit as well. In March of 2024, the company signed a multi-year distribution deal with Mercury Records /Republic, streamlining its distribution channels and expanding its global reach. This significant catalog sale underscores the increasing value of country music as an asset in the broader music investment landscape. As streaming continues to dominate music consumption, catalogs with proven longevity and fan engagement, like Big Loud's, are attracting substantial interest from investors seeking stable long-term returns. This infusion of capital, Big Loud is poised to further its influence in the music industry, continuing to develop and promote top-tier talent while exploring new ventures in the evolving musical landscape. See, that's one of the really crazy things is, as much as you might know about music, about the bands, about their releases, about the songs on the albums, there's this whole nother world behind every band that you see touring, you see playing festivals. They've got a manager that plans their touring, plans all the different details of going on tour, buying the plane tickets, getting the buses. Then you've got their road manager. Then you've got, it was very different back in the 90s when everybody was very centered around a record label. You had a lot of mouths to feed at those record labels. It's part of why they collapsed. Very interesting to see how the music business works now that we're not selling physical CDs or we are selling records, which that was a bounce back that I don't think anybody saw as CD sales started to die. I think part of it is just it's a nostalgia to put that record on, listen to that band. It also does have a different sonic sound listening to an album on a record. It has a little bit more of a warmer sound. And if it's an album that you grew up listening to in the 80s, 70s, 90s vinyl, it definitely is a lot more nostalgic hearing it on vinyl. So we got another Another headline. So Turnstyle shares new video and a song featuring vocals from Dev Haynes and Paramore's Hayley Williams. So hardcore trailblazers Turnstyle are back in the spotlight. Koi's making some noise down below. And they've brought a new friend alongside for this ride. The Baltimore-based band just dropped a surprise visual and sonic offering, unveiling new material that includes collaborations with Dev Haynes of Blood Orange and Paramore's powerhouse frontwoman Hayley Williams. Now, side note, in December, I got to interview the manager for Creed, Kyle Gerhardt. He's their front of house sound guy, and he does some of their logistics for touring. He's been working for Scott Stapp for, I think, 5 years now. Scott Stapp's a really nice guy. But one of the questions I asked him, because he's done a lot of mixing for Falling in Reverse, All Time Low, Paramore. He's done sound for so many huge acts that you've heard. And I asked him, I said, what was the one vocalist that, when I asked you this, that's who you think of right away, that had the most amazing vocals, like kind of blew you away, that there was no magic plug-in to make them sound better? And he instantly said Hayley Williams of Paramore. He just said her voice is so strong and so beautiful. He said it's like the way she belts into that microphone is just magic. So let's get back to this release. So the release is titled New Heart Designs. So it includes a short film directed by vocalist Brandon Yates and cinematographer Ian Hurdle. The visual pairs arresting black and white imagery with a live performance footage and surrealistic scenes that match Turnstyle's boundary-pushing sounds. So it's a new song. It's new songs that are grabbing serious attention. So one standout track features the unmistakable ethereal touch of Dev Haynes, whose dreamy vocals float over Turnstyle's gritty instrumentation, creating a fusion of hardcore and R&B influence alt pop. That's an interesting little mix, isn't it? Kind of like, kind of reminds me a little bit of, what's that band that everybody's into right now? The Vessels, lead singer. It'll come back to me. Another track features Hayley Williams delivering a haunting and dynamic performance, her voice cutting through with an emotional intensity that perfectly complements the band's raw power. Turnstyle has always blurred the genre lines, but this latest drop might be their boldest move yet, pulling from punk, soul, shoegaze, and beyond for this, while still maintaining the urgency and energy the fans have come to expect from the band. The collaboration with Hayley Williams seems especially significant, giving her recent experimentation and more vulnerable sonic territory with Paramore's This Is Why. Pairing her with Turnstyle feels like a cultural and musical meeting point for two bands that have come to define modern rock landscape in a different way. Social media exploded following the release, with fans praising the artistic direction and unexpected features, and Turnstyle's fearless creativity for this album. It's further proof that this is a band uninterested in staying in one lane and fully committed to redefining what heavy music can be. The full video and tracks are available now on all major streaming platforms and Turnstyle's official YouTube channel. Whether you're a longtime fan or a curious newcomer, this is a moment into modern rock that you don't want to miss. I'm definitely going to have to binge this album. I like bands that defy the norm of their genre, one of my favorite bands is Thrice. I feel like they do that with almost every album they put out, which the old school punk hardcore fans don't like, but it's not for them then, I guess. So, if you've been watching this show, or if you know anything about Off the Record, I am a musician. I am in a band called Sunblind. If you didn't know this, the Philadelphia area has some of the best local musicians I've heard. I try to cover a local musician every show so you guys can get a little taste. And today is a guy that I've met who's from the Morgantown area. Great guy. Everybody that I know that's worked with him raves about him. In fact, Kyle Gerhardt, who manages Creed, is from the same town, and he actually has done sound for this guy. It's Chris Burkholder, and I just want to talk a little about his music. He's really been pushing himself online this year. One of his goals was to post a video every day on Facebook on his channels, and I'm pretty sure he's been doing it. I've been trying to like every single video he puts out. But Chris Burkholder is more than a singer-songwriter. He's a storyteller, a vessel of raw emotion, and a rising figure in the indie folk and Christian contemporary music scene. I used to be part of that Christian music scene almost 20 years ago. Hailing from Pennsylvania, Burkholder has quietly but steadily built a catalog of songs that speak to your soul. Honesty, healing, and full of hope. For the moment you can hear his voice, you know you're experiencing something special when you hear it. It's warm, it's reflective, drawing comparisons to artists like John Foreman from Switchfoot. If you didn't know, John Foreman, lead singer, has solo albums that are a little bit more singer-songwriter. They're really good. Whether you're into Christian music or not, they're really good music. Noah Gungerson and Andrew Peterson, all really good singer-songwriters. But there's something unmistakable to his the way he delivers his lyrics. It's gentle, it's deliberate, and emotionally transparent. So, Burkholder's music carries spiritual undertones and personal reflection and universal emotion as well, all with beautifully minimalistic production. His growing discography includes Answers, which he released in this year of 2025. His latest single release was May 2nd, today. It touches on the timeless search for clarity and divine guidance. Lush with acoustic guitars and moving vocal lines. Answers blends a subtle production with lyrical honesty. It's a song that doesn't pretend to have it all figured out. It simply asks the right questions. So also he released a song, Forever Song, this year. This deeply spiritual track blends poetic imagery with a swelling arrangement. It's been gaining traction on social media platforms, especially TikTok, where Burkholder often shares stripped-down versions and reflects on his writing process. A standout moment, the song "Oh Child" in 2024, was a standout moment in his catalog. It explored themes of innocence, redemption, and encouragement. The track's simple yet effectively arranged, and allows the emotion to weigh, and the weight of it allows the emotional weight of the lyrics to really shine on that track. So in 2023, Beautiful Thoughts was released. This earlier single puts him on the map for many listeners. It's intimate, it's introspective. It captured the essence of his writing style, encouraging listeners to dwell on what's good, true, and beautiful, even in the midst of uncertainty. With many songs, many of his songs are featured across streaming platforms and YouTube, often accompanied by visual storytelling or acoustic performance that enhance the song's emotional impact. So let's get into his performances rooted in the community. So Christopher doesn't just sing to people, he connects with them. His live performances are marked by an authentic sense of presence when he's playing. Whether he's performing on a church stage, in a local coffee shop, or as part of an intimate worship gathering, there's a calm, grounding energy in the room when he's playing. In recent years, Christopher has been featured in projects by Providence Artists Initiative. It's an artist collective and worship movement that brings musicians together for seasonal songs, community performances, and online worship sets. His appearance in the 2024 Christmas medley brought new listeners into his orbit, as his voice floated effortlessly through the arrangements, both sacred and tender. He's also active on TikTok and Instagram, using his platforms not just for promotion, but to share his creative journey, personal faith, and moments of vulnerability that resonate with fans around the world. It's this openness that has earned him a dedicated following and positioned him as one of the most, positioned him as more than just a performer. He's a voice of encouragement in a very noisy world right now. One of the things I'm really trying to do this year is listen to some more positive tunes, since politically it's a madhouse out there. The world's a madhouse everywhere right now. So what's ahead for Christopher Burkholder? Shows no signs of slowing down, with more singles slated for release throughout 2025, and rumors of full debut album project in the works. Fans have so much to look forward to. His songwriting is deepening, and his sound is expanding, yet he's staying really true to the sincerity that brought people to his music in the first place. He's been planning more live appearances throughout the summer and fall, particularly in the Mid-Atlantic region. From small gatherings to faith-based events, his focus remains the same, offering music that meets people where they are with a gentleness and grace to it. So, final thoughts. In an era where much of the music industry feels synthetic, and formulaic, Christopher is a refreshing contrast in the scene. His songs don't just shout, they whisper truths. They invite you in, and they stay with you. So whether it's a season of seeking, healing, or simply looking for music that matters, keep Christopher Burkholder on your radar, because the most powerful songs aren't always the loudest. They're the ones that speak directly to your heart. So, thank you for watching today, guys. If you know any local bands that you think I should cover, please comment down below or message me on Instagram or Facebook. That's all we have for today. I hope you have a great weekend.